You try to eat in this Pokemon world. I choose you, the greatest podcast of them all. I choose you.
Hello, and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group. Joining me this week, as always, is...
your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the Popeye of the show.
The James Bond of this show, Evan Aubrey.
Whoa! You got it. Whoa! You made a weird noise.
That was like futuristic.
Yeah.
It's got a nitro ball in the can.
Oh,
What?
hell
What
yeah.
does that mean?
Because it's a nitro poured, Guinness.
Guinness.
So you got to
Okay,
pour it
okay.
upside down. It's the whole deal.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay.
I thought it was going to slop over.
We're
just
almost
for a
there.
second.
We're almost there.
Well, so, Evan, I'm glad that you've set up a reason for the season. We are recording this on St. Patrick's Day, so you've got a nice Guinness to complicate the spirit. I was going to make a joke about Uncle O'Grimacy.
Nice.
You know
What was
about
the joke?
Uncle O'Grimacy, right, Ben?
What was the joke?
That he exists.
Oh,
That's
right.
funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
Setup punchline
yeah, I mean,
is compromised by just existence.
yeah, I mean, it is funny though. Like Uncle O'Grimacy, the Grimace's uncle, who is literally just an Irish stereotype that comes around once a year to sell you Shamrock Shakes.
Is that where the Shamrock Shake came with?
Yeah, it comes from Uncle O'Grimacy.
Okay.
Like they milk him for it.
Isn't he a part of the IRA?
It's confirmed.
Yeah, that's
pretty
why.
sure it
That's
is
why he
confirmed.
went out of circulation during the 90s.
Right.
He'll be silenced no longer.
Do you think
What do I think?
when Shamrock Shakes come around, does McDonald's stop selling hash browns? Just to really emulate the
Potato famine.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Hell
Damn,
yeah.
that was kind of a slow burn.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where I was going with it.
Well, we all got there. And it was good.
Wouldn't
Man.
be the first time that McDonald's supported a genocide.
It won't be the last.
Yeah.
It won't be the last.
I had a Shamrock Shake weeks ago.
Weeks
Nay,
ago.
months ago.
Months
It's been out for that long?
It's been out. They really got ahead of the
like,
curve.
St. Patrick's Day is 4 months from now. We've got to make sure this is ready.
They really
like-
pulled out like a Hobby Lobby and just put it out immediately.
It's like
as
when
the
you
New
put your
Year's
tree up after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You put out your Shamrock Shake after what's the last holiday we had before this?
Valentine's Day?
Yeah, day after Valentine's Day.
I was going to say Martin Luther King Day.
I mean, probably better, honestly.
Here's my gripe. Oreos need to be standard issue.
Oh,
the shake.
Oreos need to be standard issue.
Before you
Oh,
put
are
them
they?
in, like,
Do you
a shake.
do you ask for them separately?
You can get the Oreos in the Shamrock Shake, but you have to ask nicely.
Okay.
Just
Did you
get a
ask and they had
Shamrock
no
Shake.
idea what the fuck you were talking about?
I was like, one shake, Shamrock style, and they just gave me the green gloop. There was no.
You're like, where's
God,
my
I wish-
chocolatey bits?
Yeah, I wish McDonald's had a secret menu where every item could be ordered Shamrock style.
Green bun.
They just like put Shamrock Shake like as a sauce on
Yes.
top of your
Oh.
burger.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shamrock sauce.
Yeah.
Shamrock style. That's the way the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movies would probably want it. You know?
I bet he would do that when he was in the hood or when he was in space or many of his other adventures.
Right.
But yeah, no, I didn't really have like a lot of St. Patrick's Day material. I just thought Uncle O'Grimacy was the long and short of it. But Evan, you did pour a beverage, which I think will lead us into what I like to call, or we all like to call, the LaCroix Boys, which is about cracking a cold one and talking about it with the boys, LaCroix Boys.
Should crack my cold one.
I was gonna say, Ben, what's your on-the-go beverage that you're side sipping from?
Well, yeah. I don't know. This never really happens, but Asia was out at Costco and with her sister doing some errands and whatnot, and just brought back a starry soda for me to sip.
Wow.
So
This never happens to me, I swear.
It never happens to me. This is, just out of nowhere.
So
you
she was like, I know you love starry soda, and like brought it out and a cup and gave it to you, right?
I think it had less to do with the fact that it was starry and more that it was just like a lemon lime option.
She wasn't like, this would make a good bit.
No, I don't think she was thinking about bits, but now it's here.
Yeah.
And it exists,
Yeah.
which in Jeremy's book is funny enough to be considered a joke, which
That is true.
great. But then I also, for the sake of this show, an actual bit, I am also going to be drinking a Waterloo Black Cherry.
Whoa.
Because I don't have any other particularly interesting drinks in my fridge right now.
You know what's
But
funny?
that's okay.
As content creators, I think we've been struck with a curse, which is that everything has become a bit. Is that good, Ben?
It's definitely more flavorful than any LaCroix I've ever had.
Wow. In a good way or a bad way? Okay.
In a good way.
Okay.
I mean,
different.
I'm not the hugest black cherry fan just of that flavor in general, but this is it's almost like it has cherry juice in it. Like,
Ooh.
it's flavorful.
It's as close as you're gonna get.
I like it.
Jeremy, please never call us content creators again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if your first statement even
That's like a
makes
slur.
sense.
It's a slur.
But as let's just say creators, then we make life on this show, and every time you're
make
walking
life?
down the store, you're like, what can I use for a bit? Like, the shelves are not filled with groceries; they're filled with bit material. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I at the Trader Joe's? Are these waffle cookie JoJo's? Are those funny enough to spend like $8 on to bring onto the show and be like, oh, I bought cookies, whoa, kind of situation?
It's like in the Matrix when you look around and everyone's just like the code.
Yeah.
Everyone's just walking bits.
Everyone's just walking the bit.
Looking for the funniest one.
Yes. So we were just talking about how everything in our life is used for content. Evan, there might have been perhaps a minor interruption in the episode. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
No, Jeremy, I'm not going to give in to your content farming podcast.
You say everything like we're some sort of lifestyle influencer. The only things that are actually used for content are just our obscure opinions about very specific things. I wouldn't consider that to be like everything in my life, and as far as like to go back to the original fucking point, the idea that like I'm going through the grocery store and I'm like not buying my regular food, but instead buying like the Post Malone Oreos simply for quote unquote content is ludicrous. Get the fuck out of here, Jeremy. Okay,
Guilty
I
as
live my
charged.
life.
I've done it. I've done that.
I live my life, but I know inherently that I would have already purchased it for the pure sake of
pleasure.
this collaboration that we have. Not because it's going to get us any more clicks, not because it's going to get us any more hits on our website, which is the ultimate mark of a good podcast. A successful podcast is how many hits you get. Just because of the pure connection, the joy of creativity and improvisational
That's why I bought that.
comedy.
I bought that Oreo cream soda for the joy.
I mean, if you think about it, everything's a bit, right? Like, you go to the grocery store and you're like, oh man, my kid loves the fucking Fruit Loops. That's the bit. Is like seeing the joy on your kids. Like, you're providing content for the enjoyment of your audience.
Your child.
I think what solidified this was when Ben called our friendship a collaboration.
This is really like an open source collaboration.
Yeah.
It's for comedic moments among friends.
The podcast, the podcast industry, the content creating industry hasn't caught up to the public sector yet. In the public school system, one of the fucking like training videos I have to take every single year, I've taken this thing 5 years in a row now, is about customer service. And they liken being a teacher to being in customer service, and
No.
the students and parents are my customers.
Oh, and they're always right. Do they have that line?
It,
in
like
there?
effectively, like that is what it is,
Oh,
and it
fuck.
like I have an aneurysm every time I fucking do that one. The podcast industry needs to approach everything as like everyone is an audience. Your family is your target audience.
Yes.
Your boss,
Your target audience.
target audience.
So you're like, I wake up in the morning and I'm like, you said the bit is that my child loves Fruit Loops, but they sit in front of me and I've got the mic in front of them and they pour the Fruit Loops and you hear like them tinkle into the glass kind of situation. And I was like, son, do you love the Fruit Loops? And he's like, yes, Papa, I do. And that's like, then I published that on his own personal RSS feed so that he knows that this moment will always be cherished by both of us.
That's true. You do have to document it on the feed.
Yeah, the feed.
Wow.
Anyway.
This is sad. I don't like this
Our podcast
anymore.
got interrupted by an earthquake.
Well, I did want to bring up one thing that has already come up before. I'm a little bit late to this news too, but I introduced into the group chat something I found on Tumblr, which is the 2024 word of the year. I don't know if anyone else did any more pursuing of the words of the year that was.
I dug into the Tumblr backstory.
Okay.
A little bit.
But you didn't go into like all of the categories, because I feel like it would be kind of fun to like. I'm curious. There's a lot of different categories, and also I'm just curious if any of this resonates with you, / if you can guess what some of these words might be.
Yeah, pick out some good categories and let's see.
So there's the overall word of the year of 2024. This is just like general words. And y'all already know the winner, so I'll just give that away already. The word of the year from 2024 was raw dog.
Of course.
Because of the way that within the last year plus change, it's become completely desexualized and can mean literally doing anything without any prep or protection. So apparently,
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing an article where it's like, to be a true man, you have to raw dog flights, which means you don't read or watch a movie or listen to music on
You
an
sit there and
flight.
stare straight
You stare
forward.
straight forward and don't do anything. And I was like, that seems kind of boring.
I mean, Seinfeld already did it.
Yeah.
I mean, just the concept that you could take that phrase, which we grew up in a, I don't even know how you would term this.
You were going to say 9/11. We aggressively did not grow up in a pre-9/11 world.
I was not going to say that. You were thinking it. We grew up in a simpler time where raw dog meant raw dog. It meant something very sexual and something that you weren't supposed to necessarily say. It was
before
taboo
the woke
to say.
mob made it mean whatever they wanted it to mean.
Exactly. Now it can mean anything.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This might be a Berenstein Bear situation. I feel like I've been saying raw dog for a long time.
Yeah, I feel like our group in particular has.
We've been raw dogging
circulated.
for years.
But I think that was a little bit on the front end of this trend.
We're the fucking revolutionary vanguard of raw dogging.
I choose you, raw dog.
Yes.
I choose you, bump.
We bumped
Yes.
him.
We bumped the raw dog. But there was some other stuff on this general category that I think there was one that I didn't recognize. The other ones make a lot of sense as far as like just not like when it was new, but like the trendiness of it, the usage of it in last year. Any guesses? Any takers on a guess?
I looked at it before you said
Oh.
guess. Sorry. So I know the answers.
Well, then you should have stopped me before I was like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
So it's okay.
Sorry, say the it was just another trendy word that like was runner up for what was the category?
So this is the general. These are the words in the general category. Brat, a la
Okay.
Charlie XCX.
Yep.
Sure.
Someone who exudes a confident, hedonistic attitude.
Riz was probably the year before, right? That's been around.
Riz has been around.
Riz is not on this list.
Well, it's kind of on this list.
No, Rizzler doesn't count. You can't, like, just because it has the word in it.
It's a proper noun.
Also, Rizzler is not on this list either.
No, but the you know what the one I was looking at though, right, Ben?
What were the ones you were looking at?
So a little further down, no, it's not on the list. But this quote unquote later on this thing, it says a middle school teacher has gone up to the mic to insist that the correct order is Skibbity Ohio Riz, not Skibbity Riz Ohio.
Do you agree, Ian? Concur?
No comment.
No comment.
Nobody's talked about Ohio in my
Yeah,
class. I think we're
what's
too
the
far
Ohio
away.
thing?
Ohio means that something's lame.
No, it means
I like
something's
that.
crazy.
Oh.
If something crazy's happened, because it's based off of this thing of like, random headline in Ohio of some crazy fucked up, weird
So it's just
situation.
Midwest Florida, man. These
Yeah.
fucking
I
Gen
see.
Z people, they don't know the culture.
That's what
It's
Ohio
like
means.
it's like when people are now using RFK as a verb, like he RFK'd the French fries.
Nice.
Oh no.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Man, RFK's head truly has the opportunity to do the funniest possible.
Well, apparently today, I just saw this the other day. Apparently today, Trump's gonna release all of the JFK files on this
Ian, your questions will
It's
finally
March
be
It's funny-
18th. I'm
Did his
sure
head
it
just do
absolutely
that?
happened, and I'm sure we'll absolutely find the answer to did his head just do that.
It's funny you say that because I was literally talking with a couple of people last night over a beer. I was like, he said he was going to release it. Where the fuck is it? I need to know.
Where are the tapes?
Apparently it's happening tomorrow.
Well, it's gonna be like the last thing where he's gonna be like, I released them, and they're all just redacted still. So
Wasn't-
you'll
JFK's
never
Irish,
know if
right?
your head just did that.
Yeah, they should have released it today.
Irish.
Well, that would've been
Oh,
appropriate.
on point.
Irish, yeah, appropriate.
Honored.
All right, going back to the words.
The list,
Ben,
yeah.
give me more words.
Yeah. Okay. So other words that are actually all just common, but have gotten different meanings. Yap. People say yap a lot
sure.
more now.
I use that a lot.
There you go. Cooked.
Yep.
People say that a lot more now. The one that I learned this year that Ian taught me, crash out.
Yep. Crashed out.
People are crashing out all over the place now.
Oh, yeah.
The one that I didn't know.
Much like JFK's head.
just crashed out.
Really crashed out right now.
Got cooked.
The one that I didn't know is sane washing. Has anyone heard this one before?
Yes, it's
No.
where you write a headline where someone does something crazy, and you write a news article or headline about it that makes it seem normal.
Oh, just to justify it.
Yeah.
Downplaying or restating extreme political rhetoric to make it more palatable, especially referring to whitewashing media coverage. So yeah, and then there's a whole bunch of other things that I think are not completely super interesting / useful for us.
Not content. Not bits.
It's not the best bits anymore. I feel like I kind of lost all of the bit juice and the content energy behind this one. But I do think that there's an important subcategory in all of this, which is the most fun while it lasted word of the year, which is the special
Nice.
category at the very end. And these include ones that probably aren't going to make the cut as
Next
far
year.
as like cultural relevance in the near future. Brat, which is interesting that it's on both the general list and while it lasted.
Yeah.
Demure,
Oh yeah.
That's already
Oh.
died.
it's already
In and out.
died.
Yeah, that was a meme.
Now no one's demure anymore. We could
Yeah.
all be a little more demure, TBH. Hawk Tua. Now
I mean,
a failing
that had
Bitcoin.
a rise and fall, whole roller coaster associated with it.
I did see an excellent fucking tweet that was like, in an Irish accent, Hawk of the Tua, or Hawk of the morning Tua.
There you go.
And I was like, man,
It
this
got there.
it got so late. Like if that had come out in prime,
Right.
If that came out
golden
like
age?
in like May or something, that
Oh.
person would have had like a bazillion
Hawk Tua
reblogs.
coins or whatever.
Yeah.
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 right.
The last one is hold space, which I think
that's a wicked thing.
yeah, from the Wicked meme. I actually think that one's going to live a little bit longer because
I mean,
that was
Wicked 2's coming out this year.
yeah, and people will always be wanting to hold space for anything Wicked now. Plus, they were already holding space for other things that weren't Wicked related. So I think that one's going to keep going. But anyway, I just thought that was a fun little list of words. And I like to think about the American Dialect Society all coming together and, like gathering a quorum of linguists and teachers and people from all over the country to decide on what words were the most important from the year. Yeah, Ian.
Can we talk about memes?
Hey,
Where are
We're
they?
already
Hey.
Where are the memes?
always
Yeah.
has been.
Like, Luigi eating at McDonald's.
Luigi was on the list.
Oh, yes.
Political word was what Luigi was under.
Yeah,
I respect that.
you got to
I
respect
can't.
that.
I mean, I feel bad for the Nintendo Corporation Limited for their now the difficult environment that they'll have to
They know what they did.
navigate.
Yeah. they should just lean into it at this point.
I think
I
they
don't think
should.
they want to do that.
The next Luigi's Mansion, he just takes out a CEO.
Yeah, I don't think. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But
No, there's a
I
ghost that
expect-
he has to bust that's named Brian. Yeah.
See, Ben, you loved saying that. You
Yeah.
loved having those words come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Um,
I think, memes are in a weird spot though, because like I said, some of those words were just memes and they've kind of already come and gone, had their own life cycle, especially in the Hawk Tuah context. Like that became
That
a clip, a meme, a brand, a podcast, a Bitcoin, a failed Bitcoin scam, and now I guess someone's just like, I don't know what that girl does now. Like, what does she do?
she
with
got
her
all
life?
that money from her scam. That's fucking living, Ben.
Did she not
these
get
days.
arrested?
Yeah. No, she's fine.
she's above the law.
Yeah.
Live to Hawk Tuah another day.
Once you become a meme, you become above the law.
Do you say Hawk Tuah?
That's the French pronunciation.
Yeah.
Shit.
Is this like when people try to say Segway for the first time and they say Segu?
I think I say it before I saw the word, so probably not.
Okay. Ben, I appreciate that bit. That is like you're in the bit minds, bringing us good bits for the podcast. Yes, Ian.
Were you gonna keep talking about Ben's bits, or can I change the
Well,
subject?
I was going to bring in a new bit.
I too.
I want
So
to hear
who's-
what Ian's got cooking.
Fight to
Okay,
the
Ben.
bits.
Ian, what's your bit?
Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
PG-13.
What?
You get one fuck.
The game rating.
Wait, the game's rated PG-13?
You mean T
it's-
for teen?
It's ESRB like 10 plus or whatever.
Oh, E10 plus. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So we're gonna have like some comic mischief or something?
Yes.
Well, that's what it says. Fantasy violence,
They do hit each other.
but they've always done that.
But it's a little more like Pokemon on Pokemon contact
Yeah.
this time around.
But like, the only game that's done a good job of animating Pokemon being on top of each other was the OG not Coliseum. Yeah,
Stadium?
Coliseum. Stadium. Thank you.
Yeah.
Those had kick-ass animations.
Yeah.
Everything since then has been like the sprite just moves forward and back, and there's
Yeah.
some like bright lights and a moan,
Wrong.
and that's it.
Wrong.
No, I'm with you, Ian.
Nate, Ben, let's hear.
Well,
hear
I've
your side of the
played
story.
Pokemon Sword, I played Pokemon Arceus, I played Pokemon Scarlet, and all of them have really well, actually Pokemon Scarlet had some issues, definitely, is technically, but they all have very complicated patterns for attacks and special attacks and hitting them, and they are much
Better
better
than-
than Pokemon Stadium.
Are you kidding me?
Technology has evolved
Yeah.
since the N64.
I
Believe it or not.
Yes, it has,
You
but the
can see
Pokemon Company has not.
Now when you do Vine Whip, you can see the vines like snap and like the Pokemon's like texture like jiggles a little bit from where it got hit.
No, the Pokemon will be hurt by it's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Cry in
I'm not.
pain.
No. I know that like as the Pokemon get weaker and closer to death, they like you can tell.
Ian's looking for a beatdown, a step-by-step beatdown.
Yes, and I need a narrator to be like, "Oh, that's gotta hurt."
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Well, I will say that there's been more since we last talked about the Arceus Z through A game. There's been
Pokemon Legends ZA.
There's been more footage of the actual gameplay, and it does look like there's some fantasy violence involved. It's much more action oriented, and it's not turn based. It's real time.
Yes.
So it's going to be completely different actually from regular Pokemon. It's going to be a different play style entirely.
It's a whole new world we live in.
Yeah.
Anyway, this game's going to be rated T for teen, just for you, Ian.
I mean, I guess I do want it, but like not for the violence. Give me like.
You want it because you want the characters to drink alcohol.
Well, yeah, give me some like gritty realism. I don't know, like
Gritty realism, right?
show
Yeah.
me some like poverty. Show me some geopolitical.
Mr. Mime
Tension.
begging for change on the street.
Yeah,
Performing on the street.
show me a Cybertruck like in flames.
Yeah, when did the horrors of our world enter the Pokemon world?
And why are we funneling all the horrors into just like animal on animal violence?
Well, it's like, kind of like, I was going to make a reference that none of you know, and I restrained myself, so please clap.
Proud of you.
Thank you. But the violence, it sucks out the negative energy from everything else. So everything is good in the Pokemon world because they ritually participate.
I don't know. Where's
fighting.
the like my mom going in to like apply for a loan and getting denied? And,
Yeah.
Are you saying, Jeremy, that collectively all of the Pokemon have taken on the sins of man?
Yeah, they're like fucking sin eaters, and they have taken on our sins so that we as humanity can live a more rich and fulfilling life. And the thing that keeps us up at night is that we know that they're doing that they're taking it from us, and that we don't have to do it this way, but we choose to do it this way.
All the more reason to eat them.
Yeah, 100%.
True.
Who eats the sin eater? I do. I don't know. We've been talking a lot. I don't know if I want to LaCroix launches Sunshine, the deliciously fascinating taste of wonder. One thing I had there. So Sunshine LaCroix, we all saw, citrus flavored. I'm imagining it's like the essence of Sunny D.
Well, so they already have lemon. They already have
Yeah.
lime. They already have orange.
Right.
Tangerine?
They already have tangerine. What other citrus?
They haven't ventured into the pineapple realm.
My guess, looking at the can, which has some sunflowers and bees on it, is it might have a bit of a honey flavor.
Yep.
So maybe like lemon and honey kind of situation.
Maybe it's sunflower seeds. Every football coach on the planet just
Is it dill
crushing
pickle
those.
flavor?
Much like a Texas Roadhouse, the bottom of the Sunshine LaCroix is just coated in sunflower seed shells.
It's not actually sparkling water. It's just you open the can and then out is just dry sunflower seeds.
You
Yes.
shake it up and it like squirts into your face.
I'll try it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I kind of just
Sunshine
hope that when you open it, like you crack it open and then it's just bright sunlight coming out. Like it's just the sun inside the can.
It blinds you.
Yeah.
yeah, it makes me smile. Well, I'm gonna, whenever I see fucking Sunshine LaCroix in the fucking farmer's market, I'm gonna, harvest a few cans for myself.
Farmers
Are you going to
market.
think, when you do that, are you going to think, wow, this is going to be a great bit for my fellow collaborators to experience?
I'll go up to the grossier and be like, excuse me, sir, are you aware this will be a great bit for my collaborators? And they'll be like, oh, that's $4.99. And I'll be like, oh, right away.
Nice try,
I do have
Jeremy.
to. Oh yeah.
We know that Jeremy's at Trader Joe's and like they're feigning interest for sure. And Jeremy like plays a lot, like he leans into it. He's like, I fucking got you for the next 30 seconds. You have to pretend like you care about what I have to say.
You have to make the Trader Joe employee uncomfortable instead of the other way around.
All right. Well, let's talk about the main course of the show. just cooking and eating Pokemon. This week we've got a big one, guys. Even though it's little, it's a little big one, if you will. It's Smoliv. So every week on I Choose You, we randomly select a new Pokemon to cook and consume. We share recipes with one another, and then we decide who amongst us has the best recipes on the show. And this week, you know, everyone knows that Spain is the second largest olive producer in the world. So we got to celebrate that cultural heritage with Smoliv, the small olive Pokemon. And I will say, one of the funniest things on the Bulbapedia page is if you go down to the name trivia, it weirdly couches its name and is like, Smoliv may be a combination of small or small and olive.
Might be.
It may be that. We can't confirm this. It just might be that.
Unless Reggie tells us.
Yeah.
I mean, some might say that's just good journalism. Like, they don't have the quote to say that it is.
Allegedly, the name Smoliv is a
Innocent
combination
until proven
of small
guilty.
and olive. Do you guys prefer if it's Smoliv or Smoliv?
Small.
Small.
Smoliv.
I mean, Smoliv doesn't really make much sense as far as the pun goes. But it is small. I think it can be a Smoliv. That's what I would say.
I mean, it gives it like a meme element.
Where I want to know where in the fucking American Dialect Society yearbook Smol lives as far as like a
Smoliv?
word of the year. You know,
I think circa like 2015.
right? I want to say
Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we smoling all the time ago?
Cute little dogs.
small dogos,
Yeah.
doggos.
Small
I say
dogos.
Shit.
Dogos.
It's been so long, I'm rusty.
Do you think Ash and friends could handle if like walked up to any one of us and he's like, oh man, like what Pokemon do you got? And it's like, oh yeah, I fucking got this Smoliv because it's just a fucking joke. Like, can you believe like I caught this thing?
Yeah.
Do you think Ash could like? I think he'd like lose his mind, right? He'd be like, no, like every Pokemon is serious and
Right.
like deserves
Yeah.
rights and like being like, and we're just like, nah, dude, this is a fucking joke. I'm gonna take this to my collaborators and chop the shit out of this. Like, he probably couldn't handle that.
I don't think he could handle that.
Yeah, Ash mind.
According to Know Your Meme, the origins of the word small is quote unquote unknown, but it have started appearing in the spring/summer of 2015.
Wow. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
I was on the
we were
front
all
lines.
there. Yes.
Yeah,
We were saying small. We were saying heck and doggo. It was the best of times.
fuck.
It was the large of times. It was the small of times.
Oh man. I think it was Jeremy who won last week.
No, I just definitively
I think it was
only
Ian.
got one vote.
Pretty sure Ian.
Oh.
It was Ian who won last week. So yak it up, Ian. I heard your Popeye. What's your small recipe this week?
I'm providing for you, my fellow collaborators. Small of oil ice cream.
Oh,
Small of oil ice cream.
lovely.
We've got milk.
Yep.
We've got cream,
Milk and cream. Okay.
vanilla bean, sugar, egg yolks, salt, extra virgin small of oil, which takes on a slightly different tone.
Have you guys ever had non-virgin
So
or
innocent.
extra virgin olive oil? I can't even think of it
No.
like as something I've
Yes.
Right.
purchased.
You have?
Yeah, because like theoretically, you use like fucked olive oil for cooking.
Do you?
Like the extra virgin is supposed to be like when you want to taste it.
Yes.
Oh, so I've been using it wrong this whole time?
I
It's
don't
just-
think it matters that much.
It doesn't really matter, but like, I mean, it's expensive to like oil all your pans with. So a lot of and it's like smoke point is fairly low.
Right.
But that aside, you're gonna combine the milk and the cream in a saucepan. Bring that to a simmer. Take it off the heat. Take your vanilla beans. Scrape the seeds out. And add it to the hot milk. Let that steep for 30 minutes. Add some sugar. Bring that back up to a simmer to let the sugar dissolve. And then you whisk the egg yolks, some more sugar, some salt, in a bowl. And then you gradually kind of combine those two. And then you... basically, you're making a custard. It's a custard base. I don't need to fucking... Everyone knows how to make ice cream.
Yeah,
don't fucking
that's
ask
true.
me. You make the custard base. You get that chilling. And then halfway through that, you throw in your Smoliv oil. And scoop that out into a nice bowl. Sprinkle some salt flakes.
Whoa, salt flakes.
Maybe a little fresh Smoliv oil.
We're in fucking Utah because of the Salt Flake City over here.
It's going to be vanilla. It's going to be maybe a little peppery, maybe a little almondy from the Smoliv oil. It's going to be a delight to the senses.
So
Interesting.
Is this ice cream more savory than it is sweet?
It gives you a little bit of both.
Oh.
It gives you everything you want.
Would you say it's the Hannah Montana of ice creams because it gives you the best of both worlds?
Yeah. I'd be willing to... I'll put my credentials on the line to say that.
Okay. Would you serve a scoop of the Smoliv oil ice cream out of the hole on the top of its head?
That's pretty sick and twisted. I would do that.
What's your preferred method for making, like, the act of it turning into ice cream? Like, we've all presumably done the, like, put some ice in a paint bucket and shake it around.
I got an ice cream maker. I didn't get it. My grandmother had it from like the 1920s or whatever, and it was a crank, and you had to like
remember that.
constantly put ice and salt in the outer thing and like turn it for 30 minutes, and your like arm like falls off at the end of it. So not that.
Well, because in the summer camp that Ben, Jeremy, and I went to, where we made robotic things, that was one of the camps. I don't know if you guys did this. Was part of it was ice cream, and they would make you just shake a paint can for hours because you're a small child with too much energy.
I don't remember that.
And that's another arms fall off kind of situation. Like, look, if we're being honest with ourselves, I want to plug it into a wall, and it's got a motor, and it'll fucking spin around all by itself, and I don't have to worry about it, kind of situation. You just gotta like freeze the tube or whatever that you've got for it.
So
But
my question is, it's oily. You said like you're gonna top it off with like some fresh olive oil, like
Yeah, a little drizzle.
interesting.
So
Plus
is there
ice cream.
olive oil in the ice cream, and then you add more olive oil?
Yeah, I mean that's like, it's vanilla and it's olive oil inside of it. And you're just adding, like, I'm not talking about like you're making a fucking Cobb salad. Like you're not you're not dressing it, so to speak.
Yeah,
You're,
no vinaigrettes over here.
It's
Ben
like-
was
it's
like,
just-
God, olive oil, balsamic vinegar.
Well, I
spin it.
was kind of imagining more like how, you know, when you have like a scoop of ice cream and you put like chocolate syrup all over it. Like,
No.
are you drizzling
Not-
that much? Okay.
Delicate.
it's very delicate.
Okay.
It's like it's almost a trick of the eye.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because it does sound different from something that I've ever experienced before. I'm just trying to get the texture right in my brain.
When you're serving this ice cream, is oil spelled with a Y?
Explain
Like
why
in
that's
Popeye.
funny.
Yes, like pop.
Oh, I see. That is
Named
funny.
olive oil with a Y.
No, this ice cream is extra virgin. Like they've done it.
There's child,
there's
though they
no
did.
denying.
You've
Those-
seen those arms.
Yeah, those sweet pea, their child is a baby they find. It's not one they've had.
You
Maybe
know,
it's a cover up.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
It wasn't
You've
really appropriate back then because they weren't married.
Yeah.
you've put me in a real situation here because they've definitely done it, but like Popeye definitely raw dogs it, like no doubt.
I mean, no doubt.
In the traditional way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popeye's pop out game is strong.
Pop out.
That's
Does he have like a? Is it like a dog thing where it like comes out?
we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. All right, that's okay. We can stop.
But
Can you buy this ice cream with a hamburger?
no, This restaurant does not serve hamburgers. Like where you're getting your olive oil ice cream, that's not on the menu.
What I'm saying is, can I go in to be like, I'll gladly pay you
Tuesday for
an olive.
I'll gladly pay
It's
you
like Venmo
hamburger
or
for an
hamburgers.
olive oil ice cream right now.
No, this is a nice restaurant.
Okay. I can make this burger cost $20. Put some truffle oil on it. Boom, $20 burger.
No, maybe there's like steak tartare, but there's no hamburger.
Okay. I'm gonna go into a fancy restaurant. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for your 5-course tasting menu today.
And I'm sure the waitstaff that are paid minimum wage will really appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, Ben, what's your recipe?
So my recipe, I wanted to go a little bit beyond what I was sort of thinking as far as maybe the first places for an olive recipe. Like first thing that Asia brought up was like martini, and I was like, that sounds like a good idea. And then I was like, oh, tapenade, maybe that's like a fun olive thing. And then I was thinking about stuffed olives. But then I was thinking there's probably some dishes where the olives are the one doing the stuffing.
Oh,
If you get what I mean.
oh, I get what you mean.
Oh, they're
Not
raw
virgin
dogging
olives.
like this turkey or whatever.
Right. So I did find a recipe for Palestinian olive za'atar rolls, which look delicious. They're like basically kind of like doughy, fluffy outside with it's like a dough that's made with za'atar spices, and then it's wrapped around like I think it's walnut and olive combo, like filling.
Okay, so you like stick the nut inside like the center of an olive. So you like pit the olive and then put a nut inside it.
No, it's like a mixture. It's like it's like a ground up mixture of
It's like a compote of some kind.
yeah, it's like a filling for basically like a stuffed pastry almost. Which is walnut, olives, and then like an assortment of oils, spices, and whatnot. And then it's stuffed inside this roll, which is the za'atar roll. So yeah, basically, what you end up doing to make the filling is you combine all the walnuts, the olives, cumin, pepper, lemon juice, olive oil, garlic powder, oregano. Put it in a mixer, mix it all together with some milk, and then once that all is mixed up and everything, you are going to roll out the dough, which has been mixed together with let me see the exact spices: za'atar leaves, oregano, and sugar, and some salt and olive oil. And so you roll out your big thing of dough, you plop in your little fillings, you wrap up your little guys, and then you bake them. Yeah, it's just let me see the exact time. 25 minutes. Bake for 25 minutes. Golden brown. Pop them back out. They're crunchy, tasty, and full of delicious oliveness. Smoliveness, if you will.
Yeah, smoliveness. Yes, Ian.
What is za'atar?
Za'atar is I think it's like a plant that you can
Like an herb?
use for yeah, it's like an herb.
Okay.
Second question. You said delicious, but I just want to field the room here. I'm the only person who actually likes olives.
Yeah.
Here.
Probably.
What? No.
Okay.
Oh, Evan. Okay, you're not
Yeah.
a heathen.
Oh
Excellent.
yeah. Well, I'm not a heathen either, but when I visit my brother in Spain, it's like we eat a lot of olives, and it's fine. I'm eating my olive like a good boy, but it's not. It's not my favorite.
I'm not anti-olive. I'm mezzo olive. I'm anti-canned olive. I'm not a big canned olive person.
Interesting.
But like, if I ordered a big pizza pie and I got it olives,
I'd be okay with that.
I'm sharing that with you for sure.
I'm leaning toward. I'm like 40% positive on that.
like
Oh, like you
there's a
wouldn't
40%
have any?
Just olives? What
Just
are you
olives.
doing? No, if it's just
in.
olives, I'm.
It's one of the
passing.
greatest pizza toppings and one of the greatest fruits.
Yeah, it's a fruit.
Yeah, that qualifies.
One of the best fruits of all. Like,
I
get me a
agree.
big
I don't-
jar, not even pitted, just like I pop those suckers like cherries.
I'm not gonna say my position is the most popular one, but I'm not a big
No.
olive head.
Even Kalamata?
Yeah, no olive has impressed me that much.
No olive has impressed you.
You,
that much.
Jeremy, you've had stuffed olives like with garlic,
Yeah,
and that doesn't rock your side.
Stuff with cheese.
it's okay. I would prefer
Fine.
other things. If I walk up to a bar and it's like olive bar, I was like, I'll go to another bar.
And this is the sad thing, listeners, and people listening to this. I mean, I don't know what our like age demographic is.
Children.
Most young people I have met don't like olives. Like Jeremy is in the majority, and I'm
Really?
usually the lone agent. Like,
And you've got a whole jar and you got a big spoon and you're eating it by yourself.
yeah, like if there's like a charcuterie board,
Oh, I'm in.
I'm going to fucking town on those things. It's
We've
Christmas
got
morning
meats,
for me.
cheeses, perhaps dried fruits. All those sound delicious. Olive, you can have it.
And I will.
Yeah, I guess more for you.
Choke in that pit. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I will. Yeah, this Smoliv is an extra version.
Oh no.
Evan,
Me?
Yeah, it's your recipe, Evan.
I guess it is. As Ben alluded to, and who I mentioned I was this week, we're going the martini route. But not just any martini. We're going it's a small teeny.
A Smoltini.
Is it like
Small
1
teeny.
ounce?
Well, no, see, it's in a regular sized glass, but it looks small in my hand.
because you're tall.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Because you're told.
So I don't know though where Mr. Bond stands on gin versus vodka, but the traditional martini is gin, and I'm going that route. So
Gin's my enemy at the moment because of the juniper trees. So
at the moment, well, Jeremy, you could conquer them if you just drank more
if I
gin.
drank,
That's
if I
true.
drank some gin, I'll
like
be like, I'm
revenge.
better than you.
That's true.
Got to RFK it.
Yeah.
RFK your allergies and
Yeah.
just drink them to death. So 2.5 ounces of dry gin, a half ounce of dry vermouth, a 1/4 ounce olive being. I don't know. Olive being meaning like the whole olive, I assume.
Instead of a
Very
human being.
existential.
Yeah.
It's like consciousness.
All
Yes.
of being.
Olive being.
All of being.
And here's where we get a little fun is a few drops of Smoliv oil in the martini just as a finisher, right?
Yes.
Interesting.
And top it off, of course, with some rosemary sprigs and a Smoliv.
Smoliv for the garnish, right?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
well, in the
And-
martini.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's dumped. It's speared and
we're,
dumped.
we're piercing the Smoliv with, let's say, a toothpick or something. But do we want to do any like fun piercing item?
Like a belly button.
Yeah, like a sword.
Let's do a
Take your martini to
Albert.
Claire's.
Yes,
How big is a Smoliv?
they're a foot tall.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, this is a hot tub sized martini glass.
Dude, I would climb in a tub with a fucking olive. That would be it. That'd be it, baby.
Make me extra virgin or whatever.
And of course, as Mr. Bond intended, it's shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's so funny that you bring up this idea of a big martini, because I actually just saw a video the other day that Asia showed me of this.
Martini hot tub.
It wasn't a martini hot tub. It wasn't that big, but it was a person who is quote unquote making martinis until I like them. That is, and doing it in a giant cup that's literally like 2 feet tall, like
Oh,
giant
no.
2 feet tall martini cup, and
You can't have a 2 foot tall martini cup. That's just a cup that you have that's 2 feet tall. A martini
the
glass
martini
is very
cup?
specific.
well, it looks like a martini glass. I
Oh, it
didn't
does?
say the
Okay, I
right
see what
words.
you're
I'm not doing justice.
No, it's okay. I'm getting mad at this person I don't know, and that's okay.
But so they always make their drinks in like huge proportions, and the one video that I saw was a cacio e pepe
Oh, yes.
martini that involved cacio e pepe sauce, and then a pasta for the garnish.
It
It looks disgusting, but it's the only thing I can think of when you say giant martini glass.
Served with a side of pasta.
Yeah, it's just like they wrap it up on the spoon and like stick it on the side kind of situation. There you go.
What is the logic there of like, I'm going to make a giant martini until I like them?
It's like smoking a whole pack of cigarettes at once, right? That's how that works.
I think the idea is, again, content, because now I'm talking about it. It really resonated with me.
Fuck, they got us.
You did it.
You know, if it was just a regular size martini glass, I probably wouldn't have thought about it all that much. But
I mean, that's true. Once you get to the side, once you get to novelty, it just sticks in your noggin.
Yeah.
Kind of situation, much like our giant olive.
But I do really like to think about the Smoliv in the martini, you know, soaking up all of the alcohol, but its face is still like it's got the little squiggly face, like it's still like blank, you know, like it's not happy.
It's hanging out, you know, imaginary arms around the rim of the glass, chilling. Right. Ian walks up to it. It turns and winks at him.
Pick it up and just
Yeah.
in the mouth.
Wow. Nice. Well, I think we're very. What if we made the glass out of the Smoliv olive?
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
so it's you get like it's
You
like
it's
a margarita
big, so you,
where
like,
you get the
carve
salt
it.
rim.
Yeah,
but you get, like,
you
olive.
carve the Smoliv olive into the glass. You drink it and then
Interesting.
you can eat it.
it'd be like drinking out of a coconut.
Yeah.
Man,
I wish I could eat a whole coconut. You could just kind of like gnaw on the insides.
man, if I had an olive as big as this thing, the ultimate bread bowl. Like
ultimate
bread bowl. Fuck.
Put soup
your
in there.
Put your charcuterie inside the
Oh
small.
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah.
Pasta in there.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know what Jeremy did, but when I was going down the stuffed olive route, I was like, you could stuff all kinds of things in this Smoliv. Like, you could make a whole meal out of a stuffed olive if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fucking
And I
everything.
did.
You could put a stuffed pepper inside this stuffed Smoliv. What if we made like a vegetable turducken? You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Make a real turducken and stick it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Be plenty of room.
All right. So my recipe has some historical basis behind it. As we know, the region that Generation 9 of Pokemon is based off is the lovely Iberian Peninsula, famed for their olives, the second largest producer of olives in the world after Italy. And they got olives everywhere. You can't walk in 5 steps without someone like throwing olives at you. And you know, Ian, you would love it. Me, I'm kind of, as Ben said, mezzo, where it's like, I wish their favorite fruit was something I liked as much as they did. You know what I'm saying? Kind of situation. Because you walk into a bar, they just slam down a little plate of olives in front of you, and you just have to eat them, kind of thing. And that's life.
I guess.
Don't-
Yeah, the way that you're explaining it, I don't want to associate with you either. If they like slap down some olives every time, I'd still eat them. That sounds good.
I do eat them, Ben.
I just
That's
wouldn't
the thing.
pursue them.
I never don't eat them when they put them in front of me.
Don't worry, Jeremy. Next time you go to visit your family, I'll go in your stead.
Okay.
I'll take care of it. I'll take the hit.
Twist my arm.
Hello, family. Give me olive. Anyway, you're going up to the north coast of Spain now because you want to enjoy the cool waters and Celtic history of the north coast of Spain. And you arrive in the beautiful town of San Sebastian. And you walk down in their historic centro. You walk into a pincho bar and you order the defining pincho of San Sebastian, which is called the Gilda, named after the movie Gilda. San Sebastian is a famous film festival that's gone back for about 80 odd years. So a lot of famos like to hang out on the beach as we all do, I guess. But Gilda, Rita Hayworth in the movie Gilda, eats a dish that kind of looks like this. So she hung out in San Sebastian a lot. So the cooks of San Sebastian put together this in her honor. It's called the Gilda. And what it is it's one. Let me make sure I get the terminology right because I don't want to fuck it up. Because it's literally only 3 things on a toothpick. It is one Cantabrian anchovy. It is one Guadilla pepper. And it is one manzanilla olive on a toothpick. And you just put those all together. So anchovy, olive, pepper, get some olive oil, maybe a little bit of salt. That's it. And you just order a rack of those. They slam them out in front of you, and you eat them in one bite, as is the style of the pincho.
A rack of them.
A rack, and that maybe not a rack, but you get 8 kind of situations that are lined up on a plate. It's kind of like a rack in that regard. And that's your fucking your meal that night. Is a delightful pincho. You get some chocoli from your local bar, maybe some vermouth, depending on how you feel, and you enjoy the delightful San Sebastian breezes as you sit by the beach. Yes, Ian.
Have you tried it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I thought it was okay. Now, here's the thing. Olive, not the biggest fan of. Anchovy, also not the biggest fan of.
Jeremy.
But I will say anchovies in Spain, not to be like, oh, I went to a place, their food was good. Anchovies in Spain are very different than the anchovies we have here in America. They taste different, and I would say they're a lot better kind of situation. Anchovies, sardines, a lot of small fish like that. They just taste different and better. So I had it multiple times, and I never said no, and I enjoyed it each time I had it, but it wouldn't be my go-to pincho in San Sebastian.
Did you have enough to necessitate an entire rack?
I mean, I ordered a rack for my family. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But the whole time Jeremy was like, man, if this olive was like a strawberry instead and this fish was like a piece of cheese, this would really be.
you
You were in
get
France
things.
instead of Spain?
Here's the thing. You can get things like basically just like that. I mean, the best thing I had there, and I've said this multiple times, piece of bread, great. Sardine, interesting. Blueberry compote on top, yes. And those three things together, it was incredible. It tasted amazing.
Jeremy's like,
really
can I speak to the chef, please? I have some suggestions on some substitutions that would really elevate this.
I just you can order like skewers of cheese though. So it's like that thing where it's like, I could get as much cheese as I wanted. No one's stopping me.
So here's the thing that I'm confused by with your recipe though, which sounds like it would be very, I can imagine the environment, the scene that you're setting, how it might taste. I'm there with you. It's just more the lore. So they saw a movie and were like, I think that's 3 things. I think, from what I can tell from this movie, it
kind of looks like these 3 things we have around here.
Like you said that they had to like reconstruct it. It's like, it doesn't sound like there was much to do. It's just like identifying an anchovy, right?
So in the movie Gilda, which is what the pincho is called, it's called Gilda.
Yeah.
Rita Hayworth, eats some things off of a skewer. One of them looks like an olive. One of them looks like a fish, and one of them looks like a pepper. It's not these specific ones per se, but that's what it looks like. And they started making them, putting them together, and serving them because of the success and popularity of that movie, and the fact that Rita Hayworth spent a lot of time in San Sebastian.
Right. I guess I'm just a little bit, maybe this goes back to what we were talking about before with the trivia section. Like, it may be in reference to small and small. Like, I get that it may be these things, but it's 90% those things, right? Like, there's very few things that look like an olive that aren't an olive. And there's very few things that look like an anchovy that aren't fucking anchovies. I want to...
Maybe it was like a cubed fish in the movie and like... a tubed one.
It appears that this is fish. Like I don't know. I want to live in the moment. I was just a little bit like the story kind of took me off guard.
Is this black and white movie era?
Yes, this is black.
So
and white.
There you go too. That removes a lot of context. You're like, this could be any kind of fish.
You're looking at that olive and they don't know what fucking kind of color it is. Is it green or is it black?
I guess that's fair.
That would be a perk. Like if you saw this movie in the Pokemon world, like as she's like putting it up to her mouth, Smoliv.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
What is the anchovy
Pokemon
called?
Oh, there is kind of like a sardine or anchovy.
Smachovy.
Minnow?
Yeah, something like that.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Pretty close.
Like the food just tells you what it is.
That's true.
We got to get a
Pokemon-
pepper Pokemon going on.
We
Pokemon
do.
World.
There's a pepper Pokemon. There's 2 pepper Pokemons in this generation.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's in this generation. Scovillain. That's a good name.
Capsakid.
I will say, not to roast the Pokemon Company, but Spain not a big fan of capsaicin, so they do not like spicy food in Spain.
No.
If they perhaps, I would say, make a Pokemon, and you can have this one for free, Pokemon Company. I would love to see a Pokemon game that's set in like Pokemon, like Mexico, Central America kind of situation. Rich ancient history and lore to pull from. You got like Quetzalcoatl as like the legendary or what have you kind of situation. Tons of food, chocolate, vanilla, potatoes.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff.
They could have a tomato Pokemon.
Tomato
Oh,
Pokemon.
yes.
Potato, tomato. All that kind of stuff. Anyway, Pokemon Company, make the Central America-based set Pokemon game. It's my hot take. Anyway, let's review our recipes and then vote on them. From Ian, we have Smoliv oil ice cream. From Ben, we have stuffed Smoliv. What was it? The spice again or herb?
Zatar rolls. Olive rolls.
Zatar rolls. From Evan, we have a Smoliv martini, and for me, we have a Smoliv Gilda. So everyone, I'm going
Got the poll right here.
right now.
I got you pulled.
And so keep thinking about which one you really want to vote for. It's
Listeners-
so power.
Listeners, pause this episode. Put the winner on your vision board.
Yes.
And secret wish it into existence.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have voted.
Yeah. We got all the votes. And
We got the votes.
it's a tie.
Oh, a 4-way tie?
It's not a
Yeah.
4-way tie.
Oh.
Nice.
It's a 2-way tie between Evan and Ian.
Put them up.
Hopefully Jeremy doesn't mix it up.
Whoa! I mean, that's something I would do.
You scamp.
Yeah, I am a scamp.
Whoops.
Let's pick next week's Pokemon. It's actually I like to call Pick'emon. Evan, can you give me a number between 906 and I'm gonna put a bit of a cutoff here and 1,000.
What about 981?
981. What about 981? Let me tell you, it's a good one. You know how we laugh at the way Pokemon are designed or constructed. And we're like,
I
we're
don't laugh
running
at
out
all.
of ideas. What do they do? Just make a Pokemon from an old generation and spell it backwards? And the answer is yes. So the next Pokemon we're doing is Farigiraf, which is the inverted giraffe rig.
Nice.
Yes.
Let's go. We did a giraffe rig episode, I'm pretty sure.
We did.
And we have to do the exact opposite recipe from that episode.
Wait, I'll just take the
Oh.
audio from that episode and play it backwards.
There's a secret message in
Paul
there
is
somewhere.
dead. So send in your Farigiraf recipes to ichoosepod@gmail.com, and we'll get on to them. Let's do the plugging round. Ben, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on the internet at Ben C. Montoya on Instagram or on Tumblr at thefearandnow.tumblr.com.
Ian. Evan? Ian. Oh, your squares are in different spots. That's my excuse this week.
Our squares are in different fucking spots, Evan.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
All my life.
Ian, where can we find you?
You can find me at Musician Davis on Instagram. You should also check out at Jessica Pacheco Music. She sang our theme song this season, and she kicks ass, and all of her music's really good. So go give her a follow.
Nice.
All right, Evan, where can we find you?
You can follow my movie makings at _Mesa Studio _ new one in the works.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Two new ones in the works, actually. I'm busy. Got a lot
Busy.
going on.
Wow. You can follow me at Velocity Prime 1 on Blue Sky, Velocity Prime No 1 on Tumblr. And check out the Santa Fe Society and Foundation for Speculative Fiction. It's a book club that's better than all the book clubs. The State Librarian of New Mexico says, the best book club I've ever been to. That's an endorsement.
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
Check it out. It's well worth it. You get a fun membership card if you join. I'm just putting all the bennies in there. All that stuff and more. The Santa Fe Society and Foundation for Speculative Fiction. Check it out. Last, head over to the-avocado.org. Check out my writing, Jeremy Zielick, the-avocado.org. And that's been the show. I've been your host. You can find our podcast on your favorite podcasting apps, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, or your podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, make sure to give us a 5-star review on those platforms. If you want to get more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages. I Choose Pod on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, and Tumblr. If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, join our Discord. Links are available in the episode description. Head on over to submit recipes, talk with fellow choosies, and participate in community events. If you want, lastly but not leastly, head on over to our website, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and merch store for your perusal. That's ichooseyou.menu. And that's been the show, and I've been your host, and Dalton Brown in the group, Jeremy Zielick.
Been your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
Been your Popeye, Ian Davis.
And Evan Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, toe-to-dial.
So you wanna cook and eat all good?
Pokemon!
Are you ready for some recipes and
Lots of puns!
I wanna eat the ultimate snack and find the flavors that are bold. I choose you. Taste them all with no regret as a prophecy foretold. I wanna eat with Jeremy, Ben, Evan, and Ian too. I choose you. Learn to cook and crack some cans.
Use the podcast in your hands.
We gotta eat in this Pokemon world. I choose you, the greatest podcast of them all. We gotta eat in this Pokemon world. Put your dish to the test, tastes better than all the rest.
One dish, two dish, red dish, blue dish. Ready for an icy wrap?
Let's do this.
If your soup is missing something, no sweat, my flamingo. You just sprinkle in a little bit of Sprigatito. And if your plate is looking sad and done sparse, just tear up some tarantula. It isn't that harsh. Vroom, vroom, there's a rubber room for all your baddies as we drive to these Pokemon tubes. I scream tail as these iron hands come over me. Those iron juggalists, exactly what I like to see. Slithering, lay back, Excalibur by the pool. And crack a bottle, let your body waddle. Don't be a sleep title, just hit the lotto. Cause this podcast is gold, it's as hot as a cat's a kid too. So let's kick back, cans crack, for I choose you.
We gotta eat in this Pokemon world. I choose you, the greatest podcast of them all.